Hi, and welcome to Mommandants Moments. I'm Julie,
And I'm Stephanie.
and we are the better half of the watch.
Here we'll talk about real life, family, and commiserate a little on what it means to be a Coast Guard spouse. Thanks for joining us. What are we talking about today, Julie?
Well, it's September,
Oh, I know what that means.
so you know what that means.
I do know what that means.
Diet time.
It means
everybody.
we're all forced to be on diets, eating bland food.
For the next month because October is
Weigh-ins. Yeah. So, and you know what? It's fall food time.
I know.
This
all the
is when
pumpkin spice.
We should be having all of the savory, delicious comfort
soups
foods.
and pot pies and oh yeah.
Right.
And do you remember before they did all this? Do you
No.
remember before there was weigh-ins?
No,
Oh, I do.
I don't remember that.
Yeah, there was a time before there was weigh-ins.
There was a time before weigh-ins?
Yeah.
That doesn't even compute to my brain. I'm having a hard time understanding that.
It was glorious.
I bet.
Because twice a year now, we go on a diet.
Yes.
As I sit and eat my Mr. Good bar here in secret.
This is a safe space, Julie.
Exactly. This will be where we hide all the good stuff. And her spouse is like, I don't understand why you're not losing weight too. Well, honey.
It's a mystery.
Yeah,
That's
I don't
it's a
have
mystery.
to eat the same stuff you do.
So now the question is, does your husband weigh in on October 1st or does your
No.
husband weigh in on the 31st?
He tries to get it, he tries to weigh in as soon as he can,
Yes.
but it's not always the first,
Yeah.
especially if he gets a little bit of a later start and we end up dieting into October.
Yes.
So, and I don't think that they would mind us talking about this because I feel like this is something most people do, right? Most
Right.
coasties do this. Like,
Yeah.
they kind of go into a little bit of a panic mode, like, oh, weigh-ins are coming up. And
Yeah.
if you're not one of those coasties, then bless you.
Right?
You are lucky.
You
and if
are-
you are a spouse of one of those coasties,
Yes.
you are exceptionally lucky.
Yes. Yeah. You get to enjoy the season.
Yeah.
Yeah.
There's no, oh, we can't go out and try that because I've got to make weight, or
Yeah, they don't have to worry about taping or the PT test or
Nope.
doing an alternate swim or...
none of it.
Yeah, I think my least favorite part about this part of the season is the stress
Yes.
because everything gets a little more stressful at home, right?
Oh, yeah.
Because it's like, hey, I have the FX tonight. I don't really feel like cooking dinner. And then the spouse is like, hey, you know what time of year it is.
We can't go out.
We can't go out. We can't have those delicious things.
I have to eat chicken and broccoli.
Right. Steamed or grilled
Steamed,
chicken and
yeah.
broccoli. Oh my gosh, it's so funny you say that. The kids the other day, we were making chicken for the 9,000th time, and the boys basically rioted. They almost held up signs saying, "We are not eating chicken anymore." And I was like, it's almost October, so you have no idea the amount of chicken that we still have left to consume.
It's a lean protein.
They're like, please don't substitute the chicken for pork. That's worse.
It's like, you have no idea the expert that I'm about to become.
Yes.
In lean proteins
Yeah.
and carbs.
Oh, what a bummer of a season this is.
Oh, it's so bad. It really is my least favorite season, which kind of stinks because we're coming into, like you said,
Yeah.
October. So it's all the good stuff. It's all the fall flavors.
Right.
Speaking of, have you tried the...
Julie, I did today. And
It's
it was the pumpkin chai latte. Yeah.
The pumpkin sweet cream or the pumpkin cream
It
chai.
was
It's
delicious.
to die for.
It
We
was
are
very
not
good.
Sponsored, by the way.
We are not.
But I will tell you, go to Starbucks. If you love a chai latte and you like pumpkin,
Yes.
if you like the pumpkin spice latte and you love chai lattes, it's like they had a baby.
And it
And
was
this is
sweet
the
and
most
delicious.
Glorious.
And it's
baby.
creamy too.
It's really creamy. It's so delicious.
Yeah, I had mine subbed with almond milk and it was still excellent.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay, so that is something that our spouses cannot have because I'm sure
No.
it's full fat and horribleness.
Yeah, but that's okay. John doesn't drink chai lattes.
Neither does Mike.
Of course, he has to get like the caramel ribbon crunch thing,
Oh,
which is way worse.
that is way worse and off the September
Yeah.
list.
He will not be getting that for September. So, but we also don't go to Starbucks very often. Like we don't like in every season. I always get at least one pumpkin spice latte.
Sure.
Not this season.
No.
It's the chai.
It is
and
the
I
chai.
may go get another one next week.
Yeah. I think the stress of this whole weigh-ins thing is it's hard for me to keep in mind that the entire month of September is a constant nagging, stressful animal inside Mike's head
Yeah.
to behave, walk the line, like toe the line,
Right.
not give in to food temptations.
Right.
And that is a constant battle in his head that I forget about because I'm not.
And you
Yeah.
don't have to weigh in for work.
Right.
It's a crazy concept.
Right.
And it's especially, I don't think it's one of the Coast Guard's better ideas, to be honest.
I mean, we get it.
We get why.
We get why.
It's that way.
They need to be able to do the job.
You need
fit
to be
in the
able to
suit,
do the job.
do
You
the
need to be
things.
physically fit.
Right.
And I don't, like, I understand that part of it, but I also think that they don't see the flip side of the mental health issue
Right?
that it
Ooh.
causes. And like you said, it's constant. And I know in their mind, they're like, well, if they would just maintain it year round, but that's not always feasible when they're doing their job.
Yeah. And they're almost in their 50s, maybe.
Yes.
And maybe they're not so much doing the job as they are doing the support behind the job.
Meetings.
Right.
When you are behind a desk and you're going to meetings daily and sitting at, like, John has a stand-up desk because he cannot sit, like, he's like, I cannot just sit behind a desk all day.
Right.
So he has a stand-up desk. So, but, I mean, his job is leading and meetings.
Right. Right. So then where is the forced physical labor in all that so that he doesn't have to worry about weigh-ins all year long? There is none.
And they always say, too, like, well, they can take a sports lunch and go work out.
Yeah.
No, they can't.
No.
John barely takes lunch.
Right?
No.
There's always a meeting. There's always a last second thing.
I want to know how many of the upper staff take a sports lunch and go work out. If you don't do it, why do you think the people below you are? You lead by example.
Right.
And it starts at the top. And if you have, and if it's okay for your CO, if your CO is going to work out and grabbing like the XO and, grabbing other staff and being like, hey, let's go work out.
Right.
And makes it okay in a point, that's one thing. But when they're working through lunch.
Right.
Or working long hours, there's an expectation set.
Exactly.
By that command. Like, what are they supposed to do?
Yeah. Stress out.
Stress out and toe the line.
Right.
Like you said. And then stress and not eat right for a whole month.
Exactly. Yeah. And that is part of the stuff that I forget that Mike is going through incessantly.
Yes.
And I'm not saying because Mike is close to not making, it's just, I think every single service member has to be hyper alert in the month of September and in the month of March.
Yeah.
So that they don't even come close in October. So that they don't have to worry about being taped off or they don't have to worry about passing whatever PT
if they
test.
don't pass.
Oh, yeah.
That's way worse.
It's way worse. And this is their career. This is their life.
Yeah.
This is their family's money. This is their insurance. This is everything.
And and it can hinge on
Pounds.
What you weigh.
Exactly.
Yeah. Talk about some effed up mental.
Right?
Like standards.
So this is a good reminder for all of us at home while we're wondering what our spouses are doing all day. 90% of it is stress.
Yeah.
They're stressing out. And when they come home and maybe they're grumpy and they'll take a look at what you made for dinner and they're maybe especially grumpy, it's not because of you or what you did. It's because
they're starving.
They're probably starving and freaking out.
Yeah.
I mean, we all get hangry. We get that.
Yes. But that's like a month-long hangry.
Right. And fear.
Yes.
And fear makes people angry.
Yeah, it does. Yeah, it's insane. And coming from aviation, I have a certain group of people that I have observed that have a very, in my, I have seen kind of like, that's not exactly healthy.
Oh, wait. We got to take a time out here for a second. Sorry for that interruption. My husband decided to surprise us. Carry on, Julie.
I think I was talking about a certain group of people.
You were.
And observing them, like their job is to work out, right? To be the best in physical shape that they can be in. But I've also seen sometimes how they eat, and I am just like, really?
Yeah.
It's kind of screwed up, like, and so I just think it's very. I'm like that some of the most physically fit people have some of the worst diets.
Yeah.
And it's not even that they're working out so that they can eat, because their eating is still like stressful and part of like I still need to maintain a certain weight to be able to physically fit and do my job.
Right.
So it's insane.
It is insane. And one of the things that Mike just popped in here and told us about weigh-ins is there's a brand new hot off the presses policy that just got passed that if you pass your PT test, you do not have to weigh in.
That's amazing.
That is amazing. That's, I mean, incredible.
Yes.
Because it looks like Big Coast Guard might be trying to transition from let's see how we can get rid of people to let's see how we can keep them.
Right.
There's hope there.
Well, that needs to happen.
Right.
Retention's not great right now.
Right.
And recruiting's not great right now. So maybe retention needs to be a priority instead of getting rid of people.
Yeah.
And I mean, there, like your spouse said, there's a lot of things that they don't screen for. Right. And I think weight's an easy one because you can look at someone and see maybe they're not in the best shape. Right. But if you have a regular, like a real regular program where people are working out and it's okay for people to actually exercise and to go work out and to do those things and it's encouraged, and you don't have a morale day once a month, once every other month, and you know, some people show up and you have like the young kids who are out playing beach volleyball, right, and the other, you know, older people who are like, well, I still gotta work, I'm not gonna go do that, then maybe it would be a different. Yeah. And Mike made another good point that you touched on was the things that they do screen for and the things that they don't screen for. They are screening for weight and physical fitness, but are they screening for mental health? Are they screening for maybe alcohol issues? Are they screening for depression? Why is the spotlight put on one specific thing instead of all the things that are so important now? And because I guess they've always been important, but because it's easy to measure.
Right. It's easy to measure and it's easy on their end to fix, whereas mental health, alcoholism, depression
is not easy.
Those are not an easy fix.
Right.
And that's scary and sad.
Yes, it's terrifying. Because you and I both can name people in the past or current that we know have issues.
Sure.
And it's obvious sometimes.
Yeah.
Right? You obviously know when there is certain problems, but yet it's a blind eye is turned.
Yeah.
And I don't know, like, I just feel that sometimes it's ignored because of how hard it is to fix. And nobody wants to have the uncomfortable conversation, right?
Right.
Nobody wants to have that uncomfortable conversation with like, hey, I've noticed this.
Yeah.
And we need to deal with it. And I need, like, you need help. We need to deal with it.
Exactly.
Those are very, like, internalized issues. And it's something that it has a stigma to it for a long time. Even now it has a stigma.
Well, right, because the fear has always been if you have an issue and you bring it up to somebody saying, hey, I need help, this could affect your career, your advancement, your everything.
The two words that I think scare coasties the most, med down.
Oh, sure.
Nobody wants to go med down. Nobody.
Right.
They will fight tooth and nail. No, I'm fine. They will be dragging a broken ankle along behind them and be like, "It's fine.
Yep.
It's fine.
I'm gonna walk it off.
Well, I can walk it off. I can just use these crutches real quick. It's fine.
Yeah.
I don't need to go med down.
I'll tighten my boots a little more.
I don't need to go see a doctor. It's fine." It's like, well, as it's like hanging off, like barely attached.
Yes.
You're like, it's fine.
This is fine.
This is fine. It's okay. I don't need to go see anybody, you know? So, and I don't know if it's the Coast Guard, the needs of the Coast Guard thing, right? I cannot call in sick. I cannot be sick right now.
Right.
And that is another...
Well, I can't be sick, but I also can't have depression.
Yeah,
I can't have a mental health problem.
No.
I can't have a drinking problem.
Right, I can't be sick in any way. Mental, physical, like emotional. Right. I can't have any of these problems.
Right.
Because I don't have time. I've got to work. I can't do it. And that adds stress, which just compounds on all these other, mental and emotional issues.
And that brings up things like postpartum depression for our members, for our service members.
Yeah.
Do they get to get help for that? Or are they just as scared to bring up that they might need help with, after having a child?
Right. Well, one good thing that they do have now, that the Coast Guard has, which is available to spouses or members, is the Coast Guard CG support, right?
Right.
That's an amazing program. If you don't know about it, they give you 12 free therapy sessions with a therapist. You can talk to someone for 12 different sessions about one certain topic. So if you do have postpartum depression, you can call and talk to someone for 12 things and nobody knows about it. Coast Guard does not know about it. You are not on their radar as far as that goes.
That is an excellent point.
If a member calls, it is not reported to Coast Guard.
Yeah, that is an excellent point.
It does not go in their medical sleeve.
I don't think everybody talks about that. I don't think anybody talks about that.
No. And once those 12 are up, if you need to continue, they can help you find a therapist, and then it kind of goes into a different realm.
Mm-hmm.
But those first 12 could be life-saving for some people.
Exactly.
And to find out, yes, I need more, or no, this is enough. I just needed to, deal with it. And they also have the new program where you can call 24/7 and someone's there and you can talk to someone immediately.
Yeah.
About anything. Which is important for spouses as well, because you don't want to complain to your spouse.
Right.
And you know what happens if you complain to your family.
Right.
So, yeah, I think it's an excellent resource that not a lot of people know about.
I completely agree. And especially when times like this, like weigh-in time, when there's tension at home that you may not understand, because like, why is my spouse coming home upset? Why are they on edge about every little thing? What did I do wrong?
Yeah.
And it has almost nothing to do with you 9 times out of 10. It has to do with the level of stress that the members are going through, because this very stressful time that their career hinges on it, is upon us.
Yeah.
But it sounds like now, as of the last couple of weeks, from what we understand from Mike today, this could be moving in a positive direction.
I would hope so. Because, even the people who don't have to take a PT test, it still will be stressful, but it would be nice if there was some kind of change to help those people out, too.
Every little bit that this needle can move toward change is good.
I feel like it's never healthy. I feel like this time of year is never healthy.
Right.
Across the board.
Sure.
Yeah, I just feel like it's not healthy at all.
But that doesn't mean that we all have to struggle. I think, as spouses and supporters of our military members, our job is to understand that sometimes they're going to come home at a level 10 stress that maybe we're not super aware of why that is, but it could be something as simple as weigh-ins are coming up, and that's a concern that they have preemptively.
Yeah.
So the more grace that we can afford our military members during this trying time, and the more recipes we can find that are healthy and maybe not so savory.
Keep your secret stash and eat it while they're gone.
That's it. Find your bestie, find a hole, eat your chocolate in it, and then emerge like a butterfly,
Yeah.
ready to save the day.
With your baked chicken.
And your steamed broccoli.
Your steamed broccoli.
So we want to hear from you. What are your hot points about weigh-in season? And also, if you've got any really good recipes,
let us know.
Please.
Please. We're tired of chicken and broccoli.
Hey, thanks for taking a moment with us, the Mommandants. You can find us on our website at mommandantsmoments.com.
We also have social media, so you can find us on Instagram, Facebook, and Pinterest, all with Mommandants Moments.